say, hey, how are you? There is a student that goes to Cookman that looks.
time for Bethune-Cookman men's basketball. Head coach Reggie Theus and the Wildcats are here to prove they won't back down from any Southwestern Athletic Conference opponent. If you love fast-paced basketball and high-energy action, you're in the right place.
Floats it out. One-handed throwdown.
Let's go courtside for today's game. It's about to get crazy. And now here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Truello, on the Cat-Eye Radio Network.
On May 26, 1958, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave the commencement speech at Bethune-Cookman University right here in this very gymnasium. And on this MLK Day in 2025, we honor his legacy by playing a game of basketball in this very court. Hello and a very warm welcome to this evening's broadcast of Bethune-Cookman University men's basketball here on the Cat-Eye Network. My name is Michael Torillo. Happy to have your company. Sabrina Petit-Home joins me from the broadcast table as the Wildcats try and go 4-0 over the weekend here, Sabrina. But it's going to be a tough task tonight as Arkansas Pine Bluff may not have a conference win, but they've got some of the most dynamic offense in the conference.
Absolutely.
We start, as always, with our Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game.
Okay, keys to the game, and the first one goes out to B-CU men's basketball team. And that key is to play together. I had a quick chat with Coach Mosley, and he stated that all the pieces are here. We just need to play together. And if the team plays in unison, they're unstoppable on the court. And I agree, because they're top 3 in points against, top 3 in field goal percentage against, and first in three-point percentage against in the SWAC. The second key goes to Pine Bluff, and that key is to don't give B-CU an open opportunity. Yes, they may not have a record in the SWAC right now, but as you stated before, that they are a dynamic team. Pine Bluff is a scoring team. They lead the SWAC in field goal percentages, but there are also 49.6% against as well. So, you know, just as much as they show up, they don't show up the other half. And what we're really looking for is to make sure that they show up for that better half.
Thank you, Sabrina. Those were your Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game.
At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $389 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through February 3rd, 2025. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for Bethune-Cookman University, the Wildcats are 6-11 and are 3-1 in the SWAC. A win tonight would match their best start to conference play since 2017. A junior guard from Washington, D.C., Trey Thomas, leads the team in three-point percentage and free throw percentage. A junior guard from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Seneca Willoughby. He is in, replacing the injured Brayon Freeman, who is still out on a week-to-week basis. A graduate student forward from Malaga, Spain, and a transfer from Missouri, Jesus Caballero Martin, has been the Swiss Army knife of this Wildcat team, doing a little bit of everything. He currently leads the team in steals and is second in the SWAC in blocks. At the 4 will be the senior forward Reggie Ward Jr. He leads not only the team, but the entire SWAC in rebounds per game with 8.2. And manning the point in the middle for the Wildcats tonight is the junior forward from Las Vegas, Nevada, Daniel Ruzon, who leads the team in field goal percentage at 52.3. Sabrina, we saw on Saturday when the Wildcats took down Mississippi Valley State, they scored 30 points off the bench.
Yep.
And it feels like with how good UAPB are on offense, we may have to hit some of those numbers tonight.
And I just really hope that they stay focused, just like how they came out the gate during tip-off and they went straight into that energy and shooting, making sure that they shoot those field goals and crashing the boards, rebounding and using those putbacks. I really do. What I hope to see this game is to make sure I see that same energy throughout the entire game. Now, we saw that last game during Mississippi Valley. We kind of sort of saw us start to, cool off a little bit towards the middle of the game. But I don't think this is the team to cool off on during this game. We need to have that same energy coming out the gate throughout the entire time.
Well, because a little bit of a stat from Saturday, Pine Bluff lost by 10 to Florida A&M. 86-76, but they actually gave up 49 points in the first half to FAMU. So FAMU raced away, and then Pine Bluff caught them in the second half.
And those are the opportunities that we talked about in Keys to the Games, that we make sure that they don't give B-CU that opportunity. Is if they give them that opportunity to, catch those second point chances or rebound or steals, even turnovers, it's not going to be a pretty game for Pine Bluff. But the same goes for the Wildcats as well. We can't give Pine Bluff that same opportunity with, unnecessary turnovers or passes as well. It's just a really good matchup, this game.
And now for the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, they come in at 3-14, 0-4 in the conference. Their starting lineup looks like this. If I mentioned that Jesus Caballero Martinez, the Swiss Army knife for Bethune-Cookman, the man on the Pine Bluff side that fits that description is the junior guard from Jacksonville, Arkansas, Christian Moore, who leads the team in total points at 12.3 points per game. He leads the SWAC in assists with 71 and leads the team in steals with 23. A junior guard from Orlando, Florida, returning to his home state tonight is Zach Reinhart, the team leader in free throw percentage. Some international flair for Arkansas and Pine Bluff is their forward, a senior from Mendes, Slovenia, and a transfer from Monmouth, Kevin Vuga. He is 6'9" and will be their main force underneath the basket. The big name to watch is the junior guard out of Los Angeles, California, Dr. Bradley.
That is such a name.
Did not start the season for the Wildcats, or for the Golden Lions, excuse me. Started in January, has only played the 4 SWAC games, but in those games he's averaging 25 points.
Wow.
And had a double-double on Saturday against FAMU. And the final starter for Arkansas Pine Bluff, the only Lion to start every game this season, is Quentin Bolton, the junior guard out of Racine, Wisconsin, and the transfer from Charleston Southern. He is their top rebounder at 4.2 rebounds per game. And this is something where the Wildcats are going to have to win today. They're going to have to win on the glass. Bethune-Cookman, 10th in the SWAC in rebounding, 33.4 per game. Arkansas Pine Bluff, 8th in rebounding, 34.1 per game. But the Wildcats have an advantage on the offensive glass, averaging 9 per game.
Yeah, I really, really do hope that the same keys to the game that we talked about earlier, that they continue to hold it down. We want to make sure that we don't give them any opportunity and play them as a team. Crashing those rebounds and making sure that we grab them from the top, it's all important.
Yeah. This is an Arkansas Pine Bluff team led by head coach Solomon Bozeman in his 3rd season that will rotate a lot. Only one player on this team is averaging more than 25 minutes per game. That's Christian Moore at 30.6. And Dr. Bradley is 2nd in the SWAC in scoring since conference play began at 25.3. The only man better than him is Tanaj Petway of Prairie View at 26 points per game.
This is going to be a very exciting game, man.
This is going to be a tough test for Coach Theus, right? Because he prides himself on defense, play tough defense. It starts on the defensive end and transitions to the offense. And slowing down a team that has this much offensive talent is going to be tough.
I'm hoping to see them run the press correctly as well, because just like how we talked about, the Arkansas Pine Bluff is known for taking deep threes. So how we spoke earlier during pregame, that we saw that we need to make sure the Wildcats are, picking the players off towards halftime. Half court, I apologize. And if they're going to run the press, they need to run the press correctly. Add that pressure to the ball.
Especially a player like Chop Paljor, the freshman out of Omaha, Nebraska. He will take it from anywhere. I was watching some film this week, and he was taking threes from 30 feet, 40 feet, half court. Doesn't matter. He'll pull up, and he'll make them, too. Paljor is the team leader in three-point percentage at 43.9% and made 6 threes against Missouri last month.
And with the team like Arkansas Pine Bluff with being offensively strong like that, we also want to go ahead and make sure. I'm really interested to see what defense Coach Theus is going to be able to run as well, too. Are they going to go straight into man? Are they going to fall into a zone? Going into a zone is not the smartest defense for this evening at all. Due to their three-point percentage, they need to be in man. And if it's going to be a zone defense, it has to be top of the key. Switch it to a 2-2-1. It can't be just the zone. I'm hoping not to see that, because Arkansas Pine Bluff, that might be the advantage for them to win.
Well, Coach Diaz says he likes to switch up defense in your post-game interview on Saturday. Let's see if he's made the correct adjustment for this game today. And it's a tough turnaround, right? These Saturday to Monday doubleheaders. You kind of have to go on limited film scouting. They probably did some yesterday. They probably did a little bit over the week, but you'll prepare more for the Saturday game than the Monday game, so you might get caught off guard a little bit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be looking for at the start of the game, what defense they're running. Arkansas Pine Bluff looks pretty locked in. As for Wildcats, I just really am interested to see what's going to happen.
Wildcats looking for their best start to conference play since 2017 when they started MEAC play 5-0. That year they finished 12-4 in the MEAC. They would be 4-1 after 2 weeks of conference play with a win tonight. We'll also keep you up to date on all things happening around SWAC men's basketball. Got 3 other games for you tonight.
Yep.
We'll take a look around the SWAC throughout tonight's contest. We are just about set to go here from Moore Gymnasium. Michael Chirillo, Sabrina Petit home, producer Lee, and the rest of our student-led broadcast crew here on the Cat Network. It's the Wildcats in the white trimmed with gold and maroon. It's the Golden Lions in black trimmed with gold and white. It'll be Daniel Ruzon to tip it up with Clement Vuga. Sparse crowd at Moore Gym, at least for the start tonight. There are some other student activities going on campus, which may mean some of the Moore Maniacs are going to arrive late to this one.
But they're definitely going to come with that energy, though.
Wildcats start on the ball. Here's Trey Thomas, who had a season-high 22. He dumps it down to Daniel Ruzon, who gets the offense going. Now we'll see the Wildcats. They do pick up very deep. Driving in is Moore, and he scores.
All right, this is what we're talking about. We need to be able to find a defense pressing out the gate. This is something we don't want to be able to see towards the game. That advantage that we were talking about that Pine Bluff is going to take.
Thomas left open for 3, and he connects. And this is how this entire game's going to go.
Yep. It's going to be a back and forth, back and forth.
Fast hands from Thomas, knocks it out of bounds, and it'll be Wildcat ball.
We definitely see that the defense that Wildcats are using is man. We don't see a zone, so it kind of looks like they did their homework. Arkansas Pine Bluff pressing out the gate.
Yeah, and they will do that a lot.
Yeah.
So I hope the Wildcats brought their press breaking boots tonight.
Hope so.
Reggie Ward will run the offense out of the 4 spot here on this play. And now it's back to Thomas and Seneca Willoughby. Thomas into the corner. Ward for 3. Short. Long rebound is grabbed by Quentin Bolton. He'll race up the floor, go all the way in. Finger roll, no good. Rebound by Thomas. The Wildcats have to take advantage of every missed shot by Arkansas Pine Bluff because they don't miss a lot of them.
No, they don't.
Thomas steps through, corner 3. Too strong. And the rebound is batted back to Willoughby. He goes down low and throws it over the head of Ruzon and out of bounds. Missed opportunity there for the Wildcats.
It does seem as Arkansas Pine Bluff was running a zone. So what may work for them may not work for us as well.
Wildcats started 4 of 6 from beyond the arc against Valley on Saturday, but have started just 1 of 3 tonight. Here's Moore, and the ball in the hands of Dr. Bradley. Expect to hear that name a ton. He gets double teamed on the baseline and resets.
Jesus playing monster is something that I wasn't expecting to see today.
Moore all the way in, and the shot gets altered by Ruzon. The Cats get another defensive stop up 5-2. Thomas kicks out. Willoughby, long 3. Oh, in and out.
This is something that I was talking about with the being on offensive. We need to have somebody watch the bottom.
Reinhardt for 3, no good. Those are the kind of shots that Pine Bluff likes to take. Thomas quickly in transition, no whistle, and it'll be Wildcat ball.
We have to be able to watch that baseline when we're on offense.
I think Bethune-Cookman has kind of been sucked into playing Pine Bluff's game early on here. It's very fast, not how Theus likes to play.
Remember, we talked about it being concise, those concise plays. that defense that Pine Bluff is looking for.
Ward short on a three. Martin misses the rebound. Wildcats just 2 of 6 to start out tonight and have taken 4 triples. Deflected by Seneca. And a great heads-up play by Ward to bank it off of Reinhardt as he was falling out of bounds. So the Wildcats have forced 2 UAPB turnovers early on here. But again, the Wildcats have committed to the 3. 4 of their 6 first shots are threes.
We're going to have to drive in. Do you see that defense? They're running a 3-2, so they're pushing them. They're pushing that ball on top, making sure that they're not being able to get down to the post at all.
Willoughby has his pass to Ruzon intercepted.
And that's what we're not trying to look for.
But Pine Bluff turns it over as Paljor crashes to the ground. Thomas resets to Seneca. Back to Trey.
They need to drive. Draw those fouls in, especially if that ball is being pushed up to the top of the key. Drive.
Thomas puts it up. Back iron no good. Nobody there for the board wearing white.
Those are points that are being given up right there. We need to have somebody on that post. Nobody is on the.
Both teams scoreless the last 2:51. We talk about all offense all the time from both of these teams as Bradley doesn't get the roll. Slow start for both teams. In transition, that's a risky pass.
These turnovers, we can't be doing those trick shots at this part of the game.
Odd man rush. Reinhardt steps into a 3 and ties the game at 5.
Straight into the press. We need to be able to watch that.
Martin takes a dribble. Seneca got to get it up. He does. Thomas now against Bradley. Lost the ball. Thankfully, Ward's right there. He goes up with it. Misses the shot. Gets his own rebound. Lost it underneath. And a foul's going to be called against Chop Paljor. And that brings us to our first media timeout. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by voice of the Wildcats, Michael Torello, and featuring the expertise of sports information directors Bryce Wojnowski and Brian Harvey. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune into 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Saturday to catch the show live or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. Well, both teams are as cold from the floor right now as this gym feels. It is cold in here tonight. It's cold outside, cold inside, and neither team brought their shooting form. 33% for Pine Bluff, 25% for the Wildcats.
A lot of work that needs to be done here. Offensive-wise, they're doing really good, but them being cold these past couple minutes is not really a good look, but it's also a great matchup as well. For the Wildcats, we need to be able to make sure that we are watching that baselines, going in for those second chance shots, driving in to drive in those fouls, because all of the shots that I've seen in the past couple minutes have been at the top of the key, and we cannot relate on those three-point shots. We need to drive. We need to crash those boards. Those second shots are going to be our best friend. Pine Bluff, for them, they need to make sure that the shots are falling, because the plays are falling correctly. It's just the ball's not falling.
Well, the Wildcats have taken 5 threes in the first 5 minutes, or just 1 of 5. Only 1 3 for Arkansas Pine Bluff, even though the first shot by Reinhardt was called a 2-pointer that he missed, and then the 3 was the one he hit. So, and again, turnovers, right? The Wildcats have turned the ball over 3 times, as have Pine Bluff. The points off turnovers favor UAPB 3-0 here early on.
We don't want to make sure that Pine Bluff is beating us down the court as well. Down the court as well. They look really fast.
And also, it's bad turnovers for the Wildcats. Risky passes that don't need to be made.
Those trick passes, we need to be able to know which team.
Yep. Gianni Hunt comes into the game for the Wildcats.
He's definitely going to speed the game up.
He drives, he kicks. Thomas pulls up from mid-range and gets it to go.
Last game we talked about which of the team is, which one of the players are going to be able to step up now that Brayon has been out on a week-to-week injury. And so far, these players are definitely showing and fighting for us to see who it is.
That shot broke a 3.5-minute scoring drought for B-CU. Fast hands by Hunt, turns the ball over. Into the front court, Reggie Ward all the way in. No good. Ruzon there for the rebound, and he's fouled on the putback.
Man, knows what he's doing under that basket, drawing those fouls.
And that's what the Wildcats need to do, whether in transition or in the half court. Get to the line, draw these fouls, go to the free throw line, get some of these key players for Pine Bluff in foul trouble.
And watch the baseline. Like, we have to make sure we're watching that baseline. We get so caught up on Pine Bluff pushing us all the way to the top of the three-pointer, we tend to forget about the bottom of the paint and that baseline.
Daniel Ruzon, the Las Vegas native, transfer from Manhattan College, will slow it down and make his first free throw. On the season, Ruzon just over 50% from the line. Ruzon a bit undersized to be playing the 5 in this league at just 6'8", 230. And then an immediate turnover will give the ball back to the Wildcats. Bad pass off the inbounds by Dr. Bradley. We see a change for Pine Bluff here. The freshman Caleb Jones comes in to replace Christian Moore. Wildcats a chance to extend their 9-5 lead here. Martine in the corner to Hunt. Gianni out on top to Ward.
We talked about that synchronized defense that I so love to use.
Ward, to Ruzon underneath. What a move! And one! Daniel Ruzon. I said he may be small to play the 5 in this league, but he's got some good moves down there.
Definitely knows how to use those post moves.
As he's already got 6 of the Wildcats' 11, Trey Thomas has the other 5. It's a two-man show right now for the Wildcats. And backing up your point, Sabrina, from Saturday is who's going to step up with Brayon Freeman out. It doesn't have to be a guard. It can be a forward like Reggie Ward, or as we're seeing so far tonight, Daniel Ruzon.
Ruzon is definitely ready for it. I love seeing Gianni on the defense. He is such a monster when it comes to that.
He does draw the reach-in foul there.
Does, but it's very effective when it's needed.
But you see where he's been picking up the defenders, right? All the way near the midcourt logo.
Monster,
and you have to against this Pine Bluff team who will pull up from anywhere and everywhere.
So eager. Staying with him.
Reinhardt, who's made the only 3 for the Lions so far, goes down low to Vuga. The Slovenian against Ruzon. No good.
Rebound by Reggie.
Reggie Ward flies through for the rebound. Hunt, long pass. Thomas in the corner. No look pass, back to Thomas. And he turns the ball over.
Can't make those plays.
In transition, Dr. Bradley rejected by Martine, but Paljor puts it right back up and in.
Game speeding up really fast as well, too.
On the other end, Thomas, no good. Out of bounds, Pine Bluff ball.
I see the plays that they're trying to run. It's like they have, the Wildcats do have a certain type of way they like to play basketball, but with the height that Pine Bluff comes with, it's really hard for them to, make those plays because they be right there with them every time.
Good block by Martine. Just nobody was there to follow up for the Wildcats. Martine's second of the SWAC in blocks per game. That was his 29th of the season overall.
Nice kick out.
Jones for 3, missed it short.
This is the type of speed that I like between 2 great teams.
Johnny Hunt calling for the ball in the corner. He'll pull up. That shot was blocked by Osoro. Dr. Bradley putting the moves on. Goes to the corner. Paljor back up top. Reinhardt to Jones. Lots of ball movement. Paljor pulls up. His three-pointer is short. Reggie Ward in transition to Thomas.
We need to slow that ball pace down.
They'll reset to Johnny Hunt. And they will slow it down up 12-7. Martine, extra pass. Thomas in the corner, missed everything.
That's 2 threes that we did not make. Let's resort to drawing in those fouls. Go to the paint.
Yeah, that was an entire possession where the ball never got inside the three-point line for the Wildcats. Short on the 3 again is Caleb Jones. He's quickly 0 for 3. Thomas up the floor, head of steam Martine, and he'll go to the line. Exactly what you said, Sabrina. We got to drive the paint, be it in transition or in the half court.
Yep.
I want to get your take on something. You called a monster on defense.
Yes.
What was that? Because you're not calling him like the Hulk or anything.
No, not at all. When I was in high school, we used to typically call the guard that is on the point guard, on defense-wise, the monster, to scare them into losing the ball or traveling. So Gianni being the monster, or so say, on the Wildcats is definitely a good choice, because he stays with them throughout. He doesn't look like he's getting tired, and we actually see it being effective with Arkansas losing the ball, traveling, etc.
Carolero Martin is at the line. Missed the first one, did the Spaniard. Originally from Malaga. Played in the Malaga basketball club system growing up. Eventually played for their senior team before coming to the States to play college ball. 1 for 2 on those free throws, and here's Dr. Bradley, the transfer from New Mexico State, second in the SWAC in points per game in conference, played 25.6, but he has no points so far tonight. Shot Paljor, the dynamic freshman, back to Bradley. Bradley against Seneca.
We talk about monster. We see Jesus is all over the court tonight.
Bradley misses on a 3. Johnny down low. Here's Onanina. Up and under.
You know, that's my favorite.
You called Onanina him last night after back-to-back three-point plays.
Absolutely.
Bradley switched onto by Reggie Ward. Here comes the screen. Bradley goes in, draws the foul on Onanina.
Did draw the foul.
He's got a really nice swim move, Bradley. Bradley, originally from Los Angeles, started his college career at Cal State Fullerton, then 1 year at Salt Lake Community College, and then in 2022-23 at New Mexico State. None of his career numbers look that impressive. 6.4 points at New Mexico State, 5.3 points per game at Cal State Fullerton. His community college stats a little bit better, 13 points, 4 boards. But he has come to Pine Bluff as a mid-year transfer and just took off running. He's got a long, lean frame at 6'8", 210, listed as a guard, but is as tall as some of the forwards on this Pine Bluff team.
See the pack starting to fill back up. Our more maniacs are starting to be here.
Full court press now from Pine Bluff.
3 full court press.
3 to get it across, they do. Khalil Kamara has checked in for the Wildcats. He's good for 1 or 2 of those 3-pointers a game, Khalil.
Yep. Students on campus call him K-Ready.
Long pass picked off by Bradley. Doctor goes all the way in, finger roll, foul.
He's going to be able to draw the fouls, but we need to be careful. We still have 11 minutes left into the first quarter. We don't want to run into foul trouble before the second half gets here.
And what Dr. Bradley is doing right now is what I want to see the Wildcats do. He just gets the ball, and the first thought in his mind is attack, attack, attack.
And that's how he draws the fouls, which puts us into foul trouble. And, you know, he goes for the stronger players on the court. You know, the ones that puts us into, that scares us in the sense. They know if they take out our best players by putting them into foul trouble, they can use that as an advantage to bring up the score.
SWAC basketball is just around the corner. Don't miss your chance to catch every second of B-CU basketball action at Moore Gym. The Wildcats will host men's and women's basketball against Alabama State and Alabama A&M the weekend of February 1st and February 3rd. That's Thursday for the women against Alabama A&M, a doubleheader against Alabama State on Saturday the 1st, and the men against Alabama A&M on February the 3rd. Make sure to come out to Moore Gymnasium to catch all the action live, or you can listen right here on the Cat Eye Network.
The next time that we're back in Moore Gymnasium, I think it'll be our basketball homecoming.
It is.
Very excited for that. I think this is the first time that we ever had something like this. And it's great because our Moore Maniacs always comes to, you know, represent.
Speaking of hoops homecoming, come reconnect with friends, alums, and all the Wildcat faithful over some B-CU basketball Saturday, February 1st, as the Cats host a doubleheader against Alabama State, featuring tailgating, vendors, a live DJ, food, and more. You won't want to miss this one-of-a-kind event. Get your tickets today at bcuathletics.com. /tickets. And if you're thinking about making the trip to Daytona Beach to catch a game at Moore Gymnasium, that's probably the best weekend to do it.
Yep. And bring your jackets. It might be cold.
It is chilly in here tonight.
Yes. I can't prepare this time.
It's going to go down into the 30s tonight here in Florida. And those of you listening from farther afield may go, that's not that bad. But to us down here,
it's really bad.
It's cold.
They might as well just snow. I've never seen snow, so this will be a great opportunity.
It's not going to snow. And trust me, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. For someone who had to deal with snow for multiple times in his life. Dr. Bradley gets that one to go. From the free throw line.
47.4% at the free throw line.
He doesn't have a field goal yet, Bradley. But he is 3 of 4 from the stripe.
Arkansas pressing us again.
Again, that 3-man full court press. 5 to get it across. Now 2.
Nice.
And barely they get it to Seneca. I think the Wildcats need to bring more men back for that press break.
Yep. Running that 2-3 again. Need to drive.
Wildcats just passing it around top of the key right now. 1 second on the shot clock. And it's no good. Shot clock violation. The Wildcats didn't look at the clock. As Trey Thomas comes back in, he'll replace Gianni Hunt. Ruzon, I think, is going to come in as well.
Use those opportunities, those second opportunities that we need to make sure that we're, gatekeeping to make sure Arkansas Pine Bluff stays on the bottom.
And again, another possession for the Wildcats that the ball never went inside the three-point line. They just passed it back and forth for 25 seconds, didn't even get a shot away.
We're not taking advantage of driving in just like Bradley is doing right now.
And he sets up Brown for 3, bricked it. And battling for the rebound is Reggie Ward. Wildcats have a 5-point lead halfway through this first half. Lower scoring than we might have thought. Both teams shooting under 40% from the floor.
I think that's also another way to say that we have been applying the same amount of pressure.
Kamara catch and shoot way too strong, but Ruzon is right there for the rebound. He spins, he draws the foul.
What a post move. Off the back, Mike? What a post move.
And a great rebound, too.
Right.
And they're going to get Quentin Bolton for the foul, his first. I think the Wildcats need to ride the hot hand, and right now that hand is Daniel Ruzon. He's got 7 early on here.
And he is in the post, just like we talked about earlier, is making sure that they're drawing those fouls. If not, use our post players who are at the bottom to draw those fouls for us if we can't drive in.
I hear Coach Theus a lot when I talk to him off camera, talk about the drive and kick, but we haven't really seen any of that tonight.
I don't want to say that the Wildcats have been getting in their heads when they come defensive-wise, but it would be really nice just to see an attempt of them driving into the post, not just being in the post.
Seneca Willoughby gets pushed backwards by Christian Moore on that catch. Christian Moore, the overall scoring leader on this team throughout the whole season, with 184 points. He goes all the way in against Seneca. Great job by Willoughby on defense.
Ruzon with the...
Here's Ruzon. He's got the hot hand. He's going to kick it out. Thomas goes in. Can't finish. Scramble on the ground, won by Pine Bluff.
Loving how the Wildcats are crashing those boards to see that we're making those second chance shots.
Corner 3 short. The Wildcats are doing a good job on the boards. They lead 16-7 in overall rebounds right now.
That makes me very happy. I don't have to talk about that anymore.
But are just 1 for their last 5 from the floor on offense.
There it goes.
Ghost screen by Ruzon. He'll get the ball in the high post. 8 to shoot. He'll pull up from mid-range. Miss it short.
But we don't have anybody down there. I was always taught if somebody is going up for a shot, there needs to be at least 1 or 2 people on that post.
Deep 3. No good. Another rebound for Ruzon. That time the shot came from Dante Sawyer, the junior out of San Francisco. Coach Theus asking his team to slow this down. Ruzon, backdoor pass. Ward gets pummeled, and it's a jump ball, and it'll give the ball to Pine Bluff.
Now, the score may seem very, very low on both ends, but Arkansas Pine Bluff is definitely giving the Wildcats a run for their money.
They're playing better defense than the numbers coming in thought that they would.
But they're offensively, it's not falling for them. They're taking those three-point shots, and it's not working for them.
And the Wildcats, I think, are getting a little bit lucky on that stretch.
Very, very lucky.
Just 18% from the floor right now are the Golden Lions. Here goes Bradley. Great job defensively by Martine.
You called him a Swiss Army knife, and I think that is a great analogy.
Kamara, transition triple, too strong. The three ball not falling for either team right now. Christian Moore, coast to coast, got the layup.
Arkansas is beating us down that court, offensive and defensive wise.
The Wildcats still have a 4-point lead.
Needs to look like it, too.
Thomas, back to Seneca.
They are moving with that ball.
Misses the straight on.
Nice.
Oh, no, he went down. Oh, no, it didn't. My apologies. Oh. But the putback is good by Martine. I thought that one rolled in off the rim.
Yeah, I saw that. I could have swore it went in, but...
It's points either way for the Cats. Breaks a 2.5-minute scoreless streak. Short rebound comes right back to Moore. That's going to be an offensive foul as Kamara stands in to take the charge.
I love when they sacrifice their bodies like that for the love of the game. It shows how much work you're putting in to winning.
Wildcats will get the ball after this media timeout. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest B-CU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest B-CU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on Shop to find the newest B-CU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on Shop. Well, I feel like a bit of a scam artist. We promised points at the top of this game, and yet both teams are shooting under 30% from the floor. It's 18-12 at the under 8 of the first half.
Now, if you were to cover both scores on the bottom and you were just to watch the game, you would think we would be up by so much right now. But that shows me that both teams are working offensively and defensive-wise. And I think the Wildcats are so very lucky that the Pine Bluff is missing their shots right now.
And again, this is a team in Arkansas Pine Bluff that loves the three. They shoot it at 32.5%. But they've only hit 1 of 9 so far tonight. But you can't play those averages forever because eventually those shots will start falling.
Yes.
So you got to take advantage of the lull that they're in right now and build this lead in the last 7 minutes of the first half.
Absolutely. We don't want, I pray that Pine Bluff is not one of those teams that warms up in the second half and just comes back and all the way through, you know? We want to make sure that we're keeping them at the bottom and we're bringing that energy to win to the end of the game.
Offensively, what would you do to try and get the Wildcats off their scoring slide right now?
Repeat that question. I'm so sorry.
What would you do to get some more offense in for the Wildcats?
To drive. Honestly, to drive, because that's the only way that we've been getting into the line or having any shots being falling in the court at all. Those second chance shots are great too, but we have not drove into the paint at all. The only person I see that is working in that paint is Daniel Ruzon, and I think he has one of the most points on the team at the moment.
Yeah. Combined, the Wildcats and the Lions are 2 of 17 from three-point land right now. Bullet pass, Thomas, step back triple. No good. Out of bounds, Pine Bluff ball. Again,
Hold that ball.
if you're Trey Thomas, have a little patience right there.
Yeah. Or drive. Or drive, because he was wide open.
Thomas had a great night on Saturday, a season-high 22 against Mississippi Valley State. Clement Vuga back in the game for Pine Bluff. As all the starters are back in for the Golden Lions, this is Reinhardt, throws it off the rim, and it's turned over. Willoughby, backdoor pass. Thomas gets clobbered by Vuga. There's a foul.
That was a good foul.
And that's what you want to see, right?
Yep.
It's not a full drive, but it's the drive and stop, draw the second defender, backdoor pass.
Exactly. That baseline is something we really got to watch. can have somebody run from one opposite end of the baseline to the opposite end, cuts through the paint.
And the Wildcats in a game like this are going to have to hit their free throws as Trey Thomas gets the first. They're currently 6 of 8 from this charity stripe right now. Thomas has emerged as one of the better free throw shooters in the conference at 79.3%. Currently 3rd in the SWAC in free throw percentage.
An attempt at running that 3-man full court press didn't look so well on our end.
Bradley around the screen, all the way in, picks up his dribble. Ruzan almost took it away. Reinhardt now gets to the paint. Martin walls up, out of bounds, stays with the Lions.
Such a team player that Zeus is. Always going up for a high five. Love to see that.
Yeah.
Sportsmanship.
6 on the shot clock for the Golden Lions here. Vuga.
Oh, that was a mid-ranger.
With 5. He drives baseline. He gets his shot blocked by Ruzan.
Post is eating today.
Thomas. And the Wildcats will play a little bit of slow ball here. No look pass. Kamara open for 3. Kaboom!
Nice. Ready.
Somebody needed to break the drought for the Wildcats, and it might as well be Khalil Kamara.
He was very poised in that shot for sure.
Bradley.
Yes.
Fouled. Yeah, you can see Martin reached and grabbed his arm as he went to up for the shot. Bradley is the only Golden Lion to go to the free throw line so far tonight. He's 3 of 4.
Because he's driving, Mike.
But I think that's because the Wildcats are doing a great job in the low post at walling up and not letting the drivers get to the baseline.
Yep. It's scary if we get to that baseline and they kick it out over to the three-pointer. Oh, no.
But I want to highlight both Ruzan and Martin, who have been doing a great job on their bigs so far.
Yep, the Swiss Army knives of the team. Very well put.
Turnovers concerning for the Wildcats as that free throw breaks a 7-0 Cats run. They've turned the ball over 8 times, leading to 7 Pine Bluff points off turnovers. Second one no good for Bradley.
We are over-rebounding Pine Bluff. That's one thing I can say.
We are, 21-12, and a great rush album, and also a great rebounding stat line. I got to throw that one in any chance I get.
It was great. That was a great cut that was missed on the baseline, passing through the baseline.
Kamara in the corner. Now they go down low. Ruzan. Kamara catch and shoot. Short. And Martin couldn't get the rebound. Bradley spins, falls over. Somehow gets it to Moore, who's trapped in the corner.
Got to be careful with those baseline, like we said earlier.
Reinhardt to the cutting Vuga, who goes with the hook shot.
That was clean, not going to lie.
Wildcats will be hard done a little bit on that possession.
They were able to make a play out of nothing, and that's the type of players you could tell that Pine Bluff is.
Thomas, who's been cold to the floor recently. Kamara, corner pocket, no good. Rebound Martin.
Nice.
He goes up. He gets fouled.
But I would love for us to get out that left pocket, though, because they are calling our shots every time when we get over there. So let's move away from the left pocket, maybe away from the three-point line for a little bit, and maybe just start hitting mid-rangers, drawing down into the paint some more, because we're being predictable now.
Wildcats 2 of 12 from 3. Pine Bluff 1 of 9. But I'll tell you what, Sabrina, this is the kind of game that favors the Wildcats.
Yeah.
We talked off air before tonight's game about, what if Arkansas Pine Bluff goes up quickly and is up maybe 20-10 or 15-5 or something. It just is hot, shooting the lights out of the building. They haven't done that. The Wildcats have been able to contain them on the defensive side. And they've been doing enough offensively. Not great, but enough.
Yes, but towards the second half, I really hope we find that connection or that synergy between the aggressiveness and concise plays towards the second half to make sure we keep Pine Bluff where they're at. Because once they find that sweet spot, whenever...
More. Yep. Teardropper is good.
Point made.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be hard to keep these Pine Bluff players from scoring the basketball.
Yeah.
It's what they do best. We've got to build a big enough lead to where we can feel comfortable in that second half.
Take it to the line every time. Maybe target their stronger players so they can put them into foul trouble.
Thomas double teamed on the baseline. Martine lost the ball. It'll stay with the Cats.
That was a smart
And again, every time the Wildcats go to the corner, the Lions are aggressively doubling.
Yeah.
You can tell that Trey Thomas wants to drive the baseline there. They're just being cut off.
Yeah.
Cats up 25-17. 4:27 to go first half here at Moore Gymnasium.
You got to get out that left pocket.
3 to shoot. Martine from the moon. Ooh. Missed everything.
You got to get out that left pocket.
That's the second time the Wildcats seemingly didn't know what
to do
or how much time was left on the shot clock.
Let's run some plays. How about that? Like, let's slow it down. Let's run the game at our course so we can run some plays and make some shots fall.
Moore for 3. No good. The Wildcats have dominated the boards tonight, 24-14.
Definitely out-rebounding us. But we need to make use of those rebounds.
Gianni lost it.
Should have took it all the way.
Moore all the way. Layup is good. And here come the Golden Lions. Hunt into the front court. He's alone right now, waiting for some Wildcats to join him.
He set it up. Let's run some plays. They get back into that 3-2 defense every time with a monster being played. Pushing up, falling back. Pushing up, falling back. That's how you run a defense to not, to stop us from driving. Pressing us.
Hunt
Nice.
Up and under. Travel. Oh. Yeah. And that takes us to immediate timeout. Arkansas Pine Bluff 3 of their last 4, and the Wildcats' lead has been dropped to just 6 at the under 4. Immediate timeout, the final one of the first half. Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give B-CU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU men's basketball, follow at BCU Hoops on X and Instagram. And also, if you're following the Cat Eye Network socials, you'll see our post-game interviews with coaches Janelle Creighton, Del Rosario, and Reggie Theus after every game. Sabrina will go down and grab those interviews. You can, if you miss them on the broadcast, you can catch them again on social media. But as I said, it's going to be hard to keep this Pine Bluff squad down as they're 3 of their last 4 from the floor and are on a 6-0 run, as the Wildcats have been held scoreless for the last 1 minute 45 seconds, and they're 1 of their last 5. We saw this even in the big win, sorry to cut you off there a little bit, in the big win against Valley, where the Wildcats went cold for long stretches of the game, and the defense was able to hold Valley.
Yeah.
But the offense just didn't pick it up.
And that's where I talked about earlier about that synergy and that connection of the aggressiveness and concise plays are being met throughout the entire game. I haven't been seeing that so much. As for defensive wise, yes, but that offense, I'm looking for smart passes. I'm looking for smart plays. We're being too predictable now. Like, if we watch on film, we see we're being drawn to the left side every time we come down after that half court. And we want to be able to make sure that we're using the full advantage of the court, using the full court to our advantage, running some plays, maybe driving, just like we said earlier. Haven't seen so much of that, so hopefully towards the second half when, the team gets re-alive, in a sense, we see that.
And we haven't gone back to Ruzan in a while. He's got a team leading 8 points. Thomas with 7.
Looks very calm, cool, collected.
Carolero Martin with 5. Golden Lions on the ball, down by 6. Christian Moore has the last 4 points for UAPB.
Okay, we see them fall back into a 2-3 with Gianni playing the monster.
Bradley, and 1.
It wasn't on purpose, but I see where he called the foul at.
They're going to get Hunt for a kick. And Dr. Bradley has his first field goal. He was 0 for 2 previously.
Bradley's been at the line the entire time.
Yeah, he's been the only Golden Lion to go to the free throw line. 4 of 6 before this.
Something that I have noticed of Bradley, every time he drives into the paint, he drives in aggressively. Like, he uses his body to make sure the ball goes in.
7-0 run for Pine Bluff. With 3 minutes to go here in this first half. Again, the Wildcats way beyond the three-point line.
Okay, that baseline, we're finally using the baseline. That makes me so happy.
Hunt almost lost it. He does get it to Thomas, 5 to shoot.
That
Hunt
shot clock.
open for 3. At the end of the shot clock, missed everything again, and it's a shot clock violation.
I'm not sure why we're not looking at how much time we have on that shot clock. I don't know if Arkansas is putting that much pressure on us for us not being able to get out our heads or so, but those shot clock violations should be something that is natural.
Chance to tie for Pine Bluff here, down 3. The Wildcats have led from the word go, have never trailed or been tied in this game. But it's currently a 7-0 run for the visitors. Christian Moore, Reinhardt in the corner, off the front of the rim. Thomas pushes it. Here comes Ward. Got his shot batted away, and it's Pine Bluff ball.
I don't know what's going on. I'm truly speechless.
And I hope Reggie Ward doesn't get demoralized to keep doing that, because that's what the Wildcats need. 2 minutes to go first half. A low-scoring game here at Moore Gym.
We really want to be able to tie that game up. Bradley again.
Teardropper too strong. Hunt goes it alone. Misses.
Nobody down there to rebound. So
Moore
many.
off the screen. 1:30 to go first half.
Vuga is playing that slot.
Here's the drive. Dumont up and under, no good. No foul either. Hunt got to be careful. He doesn't turn it over. Wildcats desperately in need of a bucket here without one for the last 3:49. Ward attacks and scores.
That moral is bad.
Timeout Pine Bluff. No correction, timeout BCU.
Took us 45 seconds to a minute to make us a layup. We really need to be able to use our paint a lot more.
That layup by Ward broke a almost 4-minute scoring drought.
My goodness.
And it's a credit to our defense that we're still in the lead.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And if we wasn't as tight up there, we would have been in trouble.
Arkansas Pine Bluff has actually taken the field goal percentage lead in the game, 27.6 to 26.7. Both coaches are going to look at that and go,
What's going on?
What's going on here? Wildcats 2 of 14 from three-point land. And to Pine Bluff's credit, they've seen that the three-point shot is not working and completely abandoned it.
Yep.
They've only taken 2 in the last 10 minutes.
Hopefully we'll be able to get that same message as well, because it hasn't been able to work for us either. We have a lot of reevaluating and strategic measures that we need to be able to do to move correctly. And yes, we're still in the lead, but only by 5. To break that gap or to elongate it a little bit more, it's some work to be done.
Again, the Wildcats dominating on the boards 27-17. 7-2 on the offensive glass, and have 9 second chance points to Pine Bluff's 0. That's the major advantage in the game for BCU right now.
Yep.
As Coach Theus is complaining to one of the referees about what we don't know, but he always has strong words for the officials. Wildcats up 27-22 here with 1:09 to go in the first half. Trying to cling to a lead that's been as big as 23-12.
Oh.
And now we're going to have some referee conversation. I think this is just a courtesy to
let you know
Coach
what's going
Theus.
on.
But again, we are not courtside, so we can't hear the conversation, what's going on. I think the Wildcats are arguing that it should be their ball. But I don't know why, because the last play was Reggie Ward scoring. Oh, he's talking about the possession arrow.
Oh.
And they did change the possession arrow to be with Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
Because the Wildcats won the opening tip, then the only jump ball we've had has gone the way of Pine Bluff.
Yeah, okay. That seems about right. Wish you were courtside, though. We would have been able to hear everything. Or at least read their lips and see what's going on.
Yeah, well, that one took a little bit of context clues to figure out.
Put two and two together.
Next week, the Wildcats are on the road against Jackson State and Alcorn State. That's a tough swing. Although Jackson State did fall to Texas Southern 81-73 in a big Texas Southern comeback in the second half of that game earlier on today. Stick around for halftime. We'll get you all the stats from this game, a recap from Sabrina, and of course, your Around the SWAC scores. 1 minute to go in this first half here. Christian Moore with some fancy dribbling. Here's the freshman Dumont. Bradley with 10 to shoot. Picks up the dribble.
Down there.
Dumont against Seneca, all the way in. Seneca denies him again.
Reggie with the rebound.
And then Seneca on the other end, trying to punish. No good, Ruse on the board. And they'll reset with a 10-second difference shot clock to game clock here.
Let's watch the shot clock and how much time we have on that board.
9 to shoot. Thomas from deep. No. That is not the shot you want in that situation. Now, Pine Bluff can hold for the final shot of the first half. 5 seconds left.
3 seconds
Bradley drives, kicks,
Nice.
open underneath is Dumont at the horn, and he gets it. And Dumont with some words for the B-CU bench as he heads back to the locker room. It's a 3-point game here at the half.
That was some fancy basketball.
Bethune-Cookman 27, Pine Bluff 24. Neither team terrific offensively. It's been a slugfest in this one, but the Wildcats playing some frustrating basketball, especially in the offensive end, Sabrina.
They are so lucky I didn't take my pen to start jotting on my notes, but yes, very much struggling. I really, really hope that this second half is a turnaround game. You know, I hate to be halftime champions or fourth quarter champions, but it seems as this is something that, you know, the Wildcats do, men and women. We always come back at the last minute, but I'm hoping that we turn it around. And yes, we're still in the lead, but just looking at them playing offensively, it doesn't look like that, you know? We need to be able to draw some fouls. We need to be able to use that right side a little bit more and just crash the paint.
Yeah. The Wildcats finished 1 of their last 9 from the floor in the first half, and Pine Bluff ends on a 9-2 run over the last 5-12. The Wildcats scored 2 points in the last 5 minutes of that first half and still somehow lead by 3.
We need to be able to, we have some readjustments to do, both Pine Bluff and the Wildcats. More so on the Pine Bluff sides, those shots that they're making, they're good shots. The plays are being ran, they're just not falling. Hopefully when they come back, we get to see a little bit more of that, not for our sake, but, you know, just for better improvement on their sake. Just very interesting to see how things are going to be able to play out, both teams. 2 very good teams, a very close score, and a half left.
We'll take a 10-minute break for halftime here. When we come back with about 5 minutes to go until the second half, we'll have your statistical breakdown and your Around the SWAC here on this Monday night of SWAC basketball action. We'll be back after the break. This is Bethune-Cookman men's basketball on the Cat-Eye Network.
At home or on the road, there.
Welcome back to Moore Gymnasium. It is halftime at the end of the first home conference series of the season. It's the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 27, the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions 24. We promised offense in this game, and, well, we don't have it. Both teams are under 30% from the floor. Arkansas Pine Bluff 29, the Wildcats 25. Here are your scoring totals for the first half. First for Arkansas Pine Bluff, Christian Moore leads the way with 8 points on 4 of 9 shooting. Dr. Bradley has 7 points, just 1 of 4 from the floor, but 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Zach Reinhart has hit the only 3 for Arkansas Pine Bluff so far. He's got 3. Vuga, Dumont, and Paljor each have 2. And for the Wildcats, Daniel Ruzon leads the way with 8 points on 2 of 4 shooting, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Trey Thomas has 7, 2 of 9 shooting, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. Jesus Carvalero Martinez got 5. Khalil Kamara's got 3. He's hit the other 3-pointer for the Wildcats. Reggie Ward's got 2, and David Onanina also has 2. Team stats look like this. Bethune-Cookman leads the overall rebounding 29-18 and 8-2 on the offensive glass. Second chance points are 9-0 in favor of the Wildcats. Both teams have 5 assists. The Wildcats have turned the ball over 10 times, leading to 12 UAPB points off turnovers. The Lions have turned it over 7 times, leading it to 7 Wildcat points off turnovers. Arkansas Pine Bluff has 9 points on the fast break. The Wildcats just 2. Wildcats have given up 6 steals to Pine Bluff, and the Wildcats have taken away the ball 5 times. Points off turnovers 12-7 in favor of Pine Bluff. Points in the paint 16-10 in favor of Pine Bluff, as the Wildcats felt like they at times didn't want to get the ball in the paint.
And just like how we reiterated earlier before, this second half really just shows to see what's going to tell us if they use those mistakes and, fix them going into the second half of the game. On both sides, Pine Bluff and Wildcats, we have 2 great teams today, and it's literally just a battle of who's better offensive vibe or defensive vibes. And they've been matching up this entire time.
I think the Wildcats are letting the Lions play kind of how they want to play defensively. They're sticking to that 3-2 zone, pressing hard outside on the Wildcats, and they haven't used that numbers advantage in the paint pretty much at all.
Not at all, but they're running their defense so well to the point where it's pushing the Wildcats to miss a couple of shot clock times. We missed that almost 2 or 3 times in the first half just off of their defense alone, not being able to see where to shoot, where to pass that ball down low. And, we got to fix those things. There's small things we have to fix. Those turnovers, we have to fix those.
Let's go around the SWAC. Only 4 games in the SWAC tonight, including here in Daytona Beach. 2 games of final already. Alcorn State goes into Prairie View and beats Prairie View A&M 78-70. The Wildcats go to Prairie View and Jackson next week. And speaking of Jackson State, they led Texas Southern for a while in that second half, but the Tigers storm back to win that one 81-73. One other game going on right now. It is all Florida A&M over Mississippi Valley State, 30-15 at the end of the first half. And here, once again, it's 27-20, Wildcats over Golden Lions. Both teams not good offensively. The Wildcats 8 of 32, just 25%. Arkansas Pine Bluff 9 of 31, just 29%. The Wildcats have been good from the free throw line, 9 of 11 at 81%. And that's, I think, the way to do it. A part of getting the ball in the paint, driving, going up for layups, is you'll get fouls. You'll get to the free throw line.
Take it to the stripe. I want to see a lot more driving. I really do. I hope that they saw those 3-pointers are not working. Even some mid-rangers, if we can kick it out to the left. If we're not driving all the way in, we kick it out to somebody on the left or the right. It may not be a 3-pointer, but it could be a mid-ranger.
There was one play that I really loved in the first half. It was Seneca Willoughby drove to the free throw line, stopped, drew a double team, and found Thomas open underneath.
Dropped it right down in the model.
You don't have to go all the way to the lane.
But we want to be able to create those open spots for other teammates to get that and finish the shot.
Yeah, you try to collapse that defense a little bit, leave open looks for your teammates.
Seneca did a really great job with that in the first half.
Again, both teams only 5 assists apiece in that first half. So
We got to rely on our teammates, not ourselves, because those assist numbers are really down.
And even if the Wildcats are shooting threes, I'd like to see them take better shots.
Yeah.
They're just stepping into contested threes, corner threes into double teams. It all comes off the drive and kick. Even if you're taking a three, set it up.
Yeah, let's get out of that pocket in the left side. I really hope they don't be on the left side on the other half, since we're on the other half of the court. Let's try and use the court, you know, inside the paint, outside the paint to draw the defense out.
Wildcats short bench in that first half. Only 9 players used, and 3 of them, Hunt, Kamara, and Onanina, played short minutes. Meanwhile, 12 players were used by Pine Bluff in that first half.
I would absolutely love to see David and Ruzon at the post on one of these plays to see if that would be able to work for the team as well.
It'll be the Wildcats to start with the ball in the second half, attacking the basket to viewers left. They ended the first half just one of their last 9 from the field, and Pine Bluff ended on a 9-2 run. The Wildcats led by as many as 11 in that first half, but have seen their lead shrink to just 3 at the start of the second. Thomas drives, kick, Ruzon mid-ranger short.
Got to clean up.
And the first offensive possession for the Wildcats goes begging. Here's Christian Moore, who ended on a real hot streak at the end of that first half, into the hands of Reinhardt. And now Bradley fighting with Martine, and an and-one opportunity. You knew Dr. Bradley was going to wake up at some point averaging 25.5 per game.
And I was really afraid that it was going to be in the second half. Still the only player from Pine Bluff to be at the line.
Yep, he's 5 of 7 before this, and 1 attempt. And Bradley's the first player into double figures tonight. He's got 10. Moore's got 8.
3-man
for Pine
press.
Bluff. The Lions employed this a lot in the first half. That's a long pass to a wide open Ruzon, and he pushes it in.
What's that phrase you use? Teardrops it in.
Yep. Wildcats take the lead back again after the Lions used that three-point play to tie the game for the first time since it was 0-0.
Nice
Christian
rebound.
Moore showed on the floater. Martine will take the rebound and dribble it up himself. Willoughby to Thomas. He attacks, he drives, he scores.
It's beautiful when we see the players actually seeing their mistakes and fixing it.
Moore all the way in. He passes underneath. And an up and under layup is good for Bradley.
Back to the press.
I think Pine Bluff's going to try and unlock Dr. Bradley in the second half. And Bradley races back for the steal.
And unlock is correct because he is going at it.
Bradley didn't play college basketball at all last year after he was caught up in the scandal surrounding New Mexico State. Here's Vuga. Good. Tied again.
This is what I was worried about. I was, hoping which one of those teams, which one of the teams would be the one to find that fire during the second half. And right now it's looking like Arkansas.
Thomas bullets it down low. Ruzon scores. Daniel Ruzon now into double figures.
It's going to be a back and forth game for this second half.
Both teams definitely have worked on things in the break. Wildcats going more into the paint, and Pine Bluff definitely attacking as well. Like Vuga banks it in.
I think they're using Vuga a lot more now.
Thomas, the kick. And the three. Kaboom!
It's him. All right, Trey.
Thomas finally off his personal slide. Here comes the offense that we expected in the first half. 4 of 5 to start the half for Pine Bluff, 4 of 5 for the Wildcats.
They are passing Vuga the ball a lot more than they were in the first half, using that big body that they were looking for.
Bradley, oh, what a block! Ward says, get that out of here. And then a deflected pass comes right to Ward.
Slow it down.
Willoughby got the ball poked away from behind by Christian Moore, the team leader in steals for Pine Bluff. But the ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats, and a chance for Bethune-Cookman to just settle it down a bit as Clement Vuga leaves the game, replaced by Dennis Asoro, the junior from Columbus, Ohio, the team leader in field goal percentage for Pine Bluff at 71%. Thomas in the corner again.
Missed a great pass to Ruzon.
Skip pass. Thomas attacks. Ward almost has it poked away. 5 on the shot clock. Reggie gets the foul. And he bangs his head into the padding on the wall.
He's not feeling this game for sure.
No, Reggie Ward has been frustrated. Just 2 points. 1 of 7 from the floor. And his only bucket coming late in the first half.
Yep.
But again, both teams have found their scoring foot here early in the second. As that one's short by Ward. He shoots the free throw at just 68%. He does lead the SWAC in rebounds. He's got 7 tonight, averaging 8.2 a game. Carlero Martin is looking at a double-double. He's got 11 boards already.
He's been all over the court, just like Daniel Ruzon has been.
Second one doesn't go. 0 for 2 that time from the line for Ward.
Gotta watch that baseline. We're missing that baseline.
Bradley drives all the way in, and he rattles it down. Wildcats look to push quickly. But the rest of the team's got to get there to support Trey Thomas.
Can't do it by himself, 1-5.
Martin now tries a triple. Way too strong, but right to Ward.
Nice.
Thomas, catch and shoot. Short. Tough catch on that pass by Dante Sawyer, but he'll control it. And a chance to take the first lead of the night for Arkansas Pine Bluff. They have not led at all in this game. But a foul called, and they're going to get a chance to do so from the line.
He is going to do that every time. Bradley is going to drive every time. When we talked about the keys to the game, I was talking about Pine Bluff not giving B-CU the open opportunity. I probably should have gave the Wildcats that key to the game, because the Pine Bluff is going to take that opportunity. Every chance that they get is to drive.
Come be a part of B-CU Athletics and support the Cat Eye Network. If you or your business is interested in partnering with us here on the Cat Eye Network, you can reach out to the Wildcats Athletic Communications Department at BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu. That's BCU Sports Info at Cookman.edu, and your business could be on air with the Wildcats. Coming up for Arkansas Pine Bluff, they'll head home for a 4-game homestand. They get 2 straight weekends at home. Southern and Grambling State, and then Mississippi Valley State and Texas Southern into the first weekend of January. Again, this is a team in Arkansas Pine Bluff that does not have a conference win yet. 0-4 in the SWAC, losses to Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Prairie View A&M, and Florida A&M. But 2 of those games, the Alabama games, were both close. And they came back after being down a lot to Florida A&M, only lose by 10. We came into this game, Sabrina, saying whichever team could score the most was going to win.
Yep.
We were proven wrong in that first half, but it looks like the second half is going to go that way, and that way definitely favors the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely. Great thing we're not no fortune tellers, so it's still anybody's game. We're up by 1, they're down by 1. 15 minutes left in the game. You just got to, keep those mistakes to a minimum.
And Arkansas Pine Bluff has history on their side. The Wildcats have never beaten UAPB in men's basketball, 0-3.
Wow.
All meetings since the Wildcats joined the SWAC in 2021. They did not play as non-conference opponents before that. as Dr. Bradley goes to the line, where he is 6 of 8, still the only Lion to attempt a free throw in the game. He's got 14 already before these free throws, Bradley, and he misses the first one. This will be his 5th straight game with double-digit points. He scored 30 against Bama A&M, 35 against Bama State, 12 against Prairie View, and 24 against Florida A&M as he goes 1 for 2 there to tie it at 36.
Pressing out the gate again. They are so consistent from the beginning of this game to where we're at right now. Pine Bluff has been extremely consistent with their defense. They showed us what they do, pressing off the free throws or the offensive.
And not a ton of off-ball movement for the Wildcats. Ruzan down low, Ward. He got the ball stripped away. Thomas recovers. Deep three, end of the shot clock from Martine. Tapped out of bounds. It'll be Pine Bluff ball as the Wildcats start to go cold again. Scoreless the last 1:52 and counting.
We got to find our warmth again. This is something that I was worried about, being that halftime champion, and it's anybody's game. We're tired right now.
Again, the Golden Lions a chance to take their first lead of the game. Wildcats will press here. Bradley races through it. Moore back to Bradley, fouled by Martine.
They are going to call that foul, Mike. We talked about this earlier before. Every time Doctor drives down that lane, he is going to draw the foul somehow. And I think he finally understands that is the only way that they're going to be able to get that lead against us.
That's the 3rd foul on Jesus Carolero Martine. And it sends Bradley to the line again, where he's 7 of 10.
Wow.
I mean, if I'm Arkansas Pine Bluff, all I would do for the rest of the game is just give the ball to Bradley and have him drive.
Literally. I think he found out that's what the way to do. Coaches probably found that out too, which is why they're telling him to take it every time. And we're leaving it wide open.
26 points in the paint for Arkansas Pine Bluff right now. Bethune-Cookman only 16, as Bradley gives the Golden Lions their first lead of the game, as Gianni Hunt will come in. And he'll replace Martine, who again has 3 fouls. The first Wildcat with 3, the only Wildcat with more than 1 right now. But again, Martine, probably the best defensive player on this roster.
Yeah.
That's a big loss for the foreseeable future. And the Wildcats go smaller as well, with a guard replacing the forward Martine. Again, the Wildcats offense very stagnant here. Willoughby penetrates, misses the floater, and it goes out of bounds. The ball to the Wildcats. It came off the head of Clement Vuga.
I'm going to see some plays being ran when it comes to the Wildcats.
3 seconds on the shot clock here. Ward to Thomas, puts it up. Missed everything, shot clock violation. It's the 3rd shot clock violation of the game for Bethune-Cookman.
You got to be more careful with those. You talked about Jesus being one of the best defensive players on the team right now in this game. I also think that Gianni has the opportunity to be one, but he just needs to be a little bit less aggressive when it comes to that.
Bradley again. That time he just lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lions. But the Wildcats scoreless again for over 3 minutes. And we talked to Coach Theus after Saturday's game. He said they want to play in 4-minute segments. Well, they've lost a ton of those 4-minute segments tonight.
If you see, it's not even honestly Arkansas Pine Bluff versus the Wildcats. It's Bradley versus the Wildcats, because he has taken that lane every single time he's given the ball.
Vuga given space to attack Ruzan. He kicks it out to Reinhardt. Bradley 10 on the shot clock. Sizes up Gianni Hunt. The paint's wide open if he can get past him. 4 on the clock. 3. Foul called. A reach against Trey Thomas. Wildcats have 4 fouls already in this second half.
I think everybody but
Willoughby and Kamara are the only 2 Wildcats to not pick up a foul, but now Wildcats pick up another foul as Johnny Hunt is called for a hold. I thought that was going to go the other way.
Huh. Where's that synergy?
It gives a fresh 20 for Pine Bluff, and they only needed about 2 of them. 4-point lead.
We're losing our synergy again.
A 7-0 run for UAPB. No points in 3.5 minutes for Bethune-Cookman. Willoughby back to Hunt. His 3-pointer, no good again.
I really wish you would stop shooting those threes when we see it's obviously not working for us.
Backdoor pass, pinned to the backboard by Ruzan.
Nice.
Down low, Ruzan, no good, got his own miss. And then he lost it. The crowd at Moore Gym has really filled in after halftime.
I'm hoping the crowd is giving the Wildcats some morale back.
They need it right now, scoreless over 4 minutes.
I wish we would be able to take tips on how Arkansas is letting us play their game. We're not playing our game.
Thomas wanted a steal. Jones controls it, 3 on the shot clock, lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with Pine Bluff, but 1 second on the shot clock. The Wildcats cannot foul here.
But you clearly see that if that wasn't out of bounds, it was going straight to Vuga, and they've been targeting him the entire time when it comes to being in the paint over on Pine Bluff side.
1 second to shoot as David Onanina replaces Daniel Ruzan. They get it in, and it's good. They count the basket. I thought it was late.
No, it was right on time.
They're going to review it. And they will go to the monitor and review a potential layup by Dante Sawyer. It is all UAPB right now. The Wildcats led by as much as 11 late in the first half. But the Wildcats scoreless almost 5 minutes. And if this basket counts, it'll be a 9-0 run for Pine Bluff in the middle of this second half.
It's not looking too good.
The head coach for Arkansas Pine Bluff is Solomon Bozeman, one of the youngest head coaches in Division I, only finished his college career in 2011 as a player. Played at Arkansas Little Rock, and then professionally in the G League and overseas before starting his coaching career. This is Bozeman's first head coaching job. He's in his 3rd season with the Lions. He started as an assistant at Abilene Christian, then moved to his alma mater, Little Rock, and then Oral Roberts. He was with them during their Sweet 16 tournament run a couple years ago. This is a Pine Bluff team that's been kind of hard done.
Yeah.
The way they look tonight, and they take the basket off the board, shot clock violation. I thought that Sawyer didn't put that up in time.
What a play if he did.
Yeah, the Wildcats escape, but they're still down 4 and don't have a basket in almost 5 minutes. If they don't score in 12 seconds, it will be 5 minutes.
Yeah.
To be honest, this is how I thought the offense might look without Brayon Freeman.
Yeah.
And the Wildcats look good on Saturday, but today without their star man, they kind of look lost a little bit.
I'm hoping that they find their way back to how they were playing last game.
Well, the Wildcats started the second half 4 of 5. They're now 4 of 12 from the field. But they started the second half 4 of 5 by going down low and attacking the glass.
We saw a lot of that when they were passing it to
Hunt, lost it, saved it to Willoughby, cross-court pass Thomas.
They are so stuck in that pocket over where Trey is at. And
Thomas, the 1-foot runner on the baseline to break a 5-minute scoreless drought for Bethune-Cookman. Now the Wildcats got to lock in defensively. Dr. Bradley with the ball with 17 already. Here he goes again. He gets bumped, and it's another foul. It's against Gianni Hunt.
I'm not sure if they're realizing that even if they have their hands up, they have to keep their hands planted or not reaching.
That was Hunt's third. Carolero Martin comes back in. He's got 3. Dr. Bradley is down behind the play. It looks like he's cramping up a little bit. The teams will be sent to their benches. The Wildcats do not have an answer for the Dr. Bradley show right now.
Plant your foot, keep those hands up. I think that's the answer. You know, or I think honestly right now, the best thing to do is create a charge. They need to plant their foot and, you know, just stand there and draw charges.
The Wildcats average 64 points per game. They're on for well under that against a team in Arkansas, Pine Bluff, who gives up over 90 points per game.
No.
They don't look like it defensively tonight.
No,
and a lot of that is the Wildcats shooting themselves in the foot with bad shot selection and not a lot of off-ball movement. But again, a lot of time left. And for all our complaining, the Wildcats are only down 2.
It doesn't look like it, though.
It doesn't feel like it.
It does not feel like it.
It feels like we're being run out of the gym right now.
We're fighting for our lives right now.
But if the Wildcats can hit a couple of good shots, get some rhythm going, this crowd will wake up
we gotta
get behind them.
Yep, get that gap going, that morale.
But again, I look at the 28-16 gap in points in the paint. And that's really the whole story.
The paint. We're finding the pieces that we need to make us a better team. Like last game, it was, you know, being able to play together. And now we figured out how to play together, but we're missing those points on the paint. You know, the three-pointers work, but they don't work all the time, you know.
And we're missing the bench points as well. I mean,
yeah, we're not seeing a lot of subbing as we did last game.
Kamara just 3, Onanina just 2 off the bench. Thomas and Ruzon, 2 of the starters, have gotten the majority of the points. Thomas has 14, Ruzon has 12. But Ruzon only has 2 in this second half. They have not gone back to the big man. 20 on the shot clock. It was not a shooting foul, so it'll be a baseline in for Arkansas Pine Bluff. And it comes to, guess who, Dr. Bradley, as he goes all the way in and floats and scores.
Very concise with his shots.
19 for Bradley now. Crowd trying to get behind the maroon and gold here. Martin, long pass, Ward, drives, tries to hit Onanina, and it eventually comes to him off the pinball, and he goes with the hook shot. Onanina loves that hook shot.
It works for him. That baseline we're missing in the back right there, Vuga cuts there every single time. It's a V cut on both sides. Takes a pick, runs on the other side, V cuts, pops back out the mid-ranger.
Finally, it's Bradley not taking a shot, and it's erased by Seneca. Here comes Thomas, all the way in. He's fouled.
Drawing the foul like we said it was going to happen every time.
How about Seneca Willoughby on the other end?
Using
closed out to that three-point shooter and just rejected that shot.
Quick hands, quick hands.
Trey Thomas has a chance to tie this game at the free throw line. Only his second trip to the charity stripe tonight, Thomas, and I think that may be the weakness of his game. He settles for too many outside shots instead of driving and getting to the free throw line, where he is an excellent free throw shooter.
Absolutely. Off topic, I wish we had a shoe cam, because the different colors on the court right now and the different types of shoes.
Trey Thomas is in some fashionably bright pink sneakers.
They're so adorable.
I noticed that at the FAMU game when we were courtside.
Yeah.
Like, is he wearing pink shoes?
I'm loving Seneca's too.
Seneca's got the teal and orange going on.
Yeah.
Wildcats
defense for Seneca.
Yeah, Wildcats some pressure, but now they back off after the inbounds goes to Bradley.
falling into a 3-2, 1-2-2 to a 3-2.
We saw that a lot on Saturday.
Yep.
Moore behind the back dribble, gets past Thomas, kick out Bradley.
My tip is to make sure that we keep Bradley out on the three-point lane. We haven't seen much three-pointers from him.
Straight up defense, but it doesn't matter as Dante Sawyer muscles it through. Pine Bluff getting everything they want in this second half, shooting at 63%.
Nice.
Ruzon, extra pass. Thomas for three. No. And a foul is going to go against the Wildcats. Wow. Daniel Ruzon ended up on the ground, and he's going to get called for the foul. And it's a 1-and-1 because that's the 7th foul. So we're going to see a lot of free throws in the last 10 minutes and 7 seconds. So already in the single bonus here with 10 minutes left. Conversely, there's only 2 fouls on Arkansas Pine Bluff in the half.
I don't think we're focused on the mistakes that we made in the first half. I think right now we're focused on winning. And yes, it is great to have a mentality on focus on winning, but it's how we're going to get there, you know, making sure that we're not making unnecessary turnovers. Our fouls, we're hopefully not in foul trouble, but, you know, we want to make sure that these concise shots that we're making all go up to a better.
Yeah. Quentin Bolton is finally on the scoreboard tonight. That was his first point, the front end of this 1-and-1. Bolton, the only ever present in the starting lineup for this Pine Bluff team this year. He started all 17 games. Martine lost it, but shovels it to Ruzon. And the Wildcats will reset down by 4.
More maniacs starting to get hype.
Will the Wildcats give him something to get excited about? Down low it goes Ruzon. Cutting is Thomas. He goes up, he misses the shot. And Bradley spins, shovels it, and a score for Sawyer. Thomas quickly the other way. He scores!
And the crowd goes wild.
But it's not enough.
Nah, not enough. We're still down by 2.
Here comes the crowd at Moore Gym.
And it's always at the 8-minute mark, Mike, that the crowd gets hype.
Bradley off the glass. Finally, he misses one. Thomas gets the ball, poked away.
I would like to see Trey look up a little bit more when he is down.
Oh, one-hand catch by Ruzon. He's going to go to the free throw line. Nice pass from Martine.
That was a bullet pass.
Oh,
Mike.
yeah. A chance for Daniel Ruzon to hit the score sheet for only the 2nd time in the second half. Had a layup right at the beginning of the half.
I'm hoping that's that fire that they need. Still down by 4. This will take us to 46 to 48.
Unlike Mississippi Valley State, who was here on Saturday, as Ruzon short on the first, Arkansas Pine Bluff did have a non-conference win, and a pretty good one at that. They beat Central Arkansas 84-78 at home back on the 7th of December. Ruzon got the second one, 3-point game. Dante Sawyer's been making a nuisance of himself. He's got 2 really tough layups so far in this second half. Reinhardt, the Orlando native. Here is Sawyer. Back to Reinhardt. Backdoor pass. Bradley into the corner for 3. No. That's the first 3 that the Lions have attempted in the second half.
Zeus getting very frustrated down below.
He thought he got fouled.
Yeah, wasn't calling anything.
Seneca, left open.
He got it! And the crowd goes wild again. It's always at that 8-minute mark that the crowd or the Warren Maniacs finds that fire to bring back the Wildcats to life.
Here we go. Seneca got a big 3 there to tie it. And an offensive foul. Illegal screen against Moore.
We're fighting our morale back.
Media timeout. Moore Gym is alive.
Back and better. It's a tie game. Now, I know we don't like to say that O word, Mike, but we did discuss that in the pregame, that might be a possibility when we get into that second half.
I thought that this game was going to be a blowout either way. Either Bethune-Cookman was going to assert themselves defensively, or Arkansas Pine Bluff was going to assert themselves offensively.
But
now, in the first half, the Wildcats were great defensively, but couldn't get a shot to save their lives.
Right.
And now both teams have stepped it up on offense here in the second half, a little bit more so for Pine Bluff.
But because of how well both teams are playing offensively and defensively wise in the beginning of the game, it had me thinking that we might end up being on overtime towards the end, because it's been close calls. It's been close calls this entire time. If we're up by 2, the other team's down by 2. I think the longest gap that we've had so far was 6 points.
There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture here at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcuathletics.com/champions club today. That's bcuathletics.com/champions club. And even since I've been working for the Wildcats since 2021, there have been so many memorable games in this building.
Southern.
The Southern last year, Alabama State the year before. Last-second winners, overtime thrillers. This building loves its drama.
We feed off of it.
It's usually the Wildcats coming out on top.
Yep.
They are very hard to beat in this building. And you can hear why. PA announcer Larry getting the crowd fired up here. 7:54 to go. We're all square at 48.
We're igniting that fire back.
And it'll be Wildcat ball as they turned it over right before the end of the media timeout.
They're running that baseline, exactly what we need.
Thomas shovels Seneca. His three-pointer. Bang! Seneca's got 2 in a row.
Send money. That's what they call them. That's send money.
He was 4 for 4 from three-point land against FAMU. Here comes Bradley. Backdoor cut.
Clean. Got to give credit where it's due. That was clean.
Bradley with his 4th 20-point game in 5 attempts. He's now up to 21.
He's carrying that team. They can't fake no more. They've used it too much.
Thomas bullets it. Reggie is fouled, I believe, by Christian Moore.
I want to talk about him a little bit more. His defensive from the beginning to right where we are right now has been on fire lately. He's been able to keep up with us.
Christian Moore?
Yes.
Christian Moore is a dog. He is an all-around complete player. Before Dr. Bradley joined halfway through the season, was projected to be the best player on this Pine Bluff roster.
Wow.
Willoughby again. Short this time. You can't start relying on that 3-ball.
Because they will take off.
Especially when Arkansas Pine Bluff's been carving up the Wildcat defense in the second half. Here goes Bradley again. He got the ball stripped. Whistle and a jump ball. It's going to be Pine Bluff ball on the alternating possession. And Seneca Willoughby comes out of the pile with the football. Looked like he wanted to call timeout, but it's going to be a media timeout as the referees sort this out. It's going to be Pine Bluff ball off the alternating possession on a tie-up, but really, that's important for the Wildcats to get the possession arrow back.
I would have thought it was Wildcat ball.
Well, no, because the Wildcats started the second half, and there's been no jump balls since, so the alternating possession goes the other way.
So Seneca did not call a timeout?
No. That's what they're debating right now. Did he call a timeout before the jump? And they're going to review it.
Okay. A game of reviews.
And the game has become more and more physical, especially in the last 5 minutes. And There's already been some jawing going on. Specifically, I remember Rafael Dumont jawing at the Wildcats bench after he hit that shot right at the end of the first half.
I definitely remember that one.
And in a close game like this, you don't want to let your passion spoil over and you get a silly technical.
We got to get...
cost your team points because every point matters.
Have to keep calm.
I want to talk about some concerning numbers, specifically foul numbers. Gianni Hunt's got 3 fouls in just 12 minutes of action, but Jesus Caballero Martin also has 3 fouls. To go along with his 3 blocks, Ruzon also has 3 blocks. The Wildcats have 8 blocks tonight.
Wow. And
they only average 3.5 per game.
They were all over that boards, all over the boards.
And Seneca's got 2 blocks. That's surprising to me.
Guard.
On the other side, Moore and Reinhardt each have 3 fouls. Vuga has 2 fouls, nobody else with more than 1. And I think that the Wildcats' aversion to driving to the paint for the majority of this game contributes to Pine Bluff not being in a ton of foul trouble. And of course, Christian Moore picked up that 3rd foul on the illegal screen. The Wildcats currently on a 9-2 run, helped by 2 3-pointers for Seneca Willoughby. They only lead it by 1 though, 51-50. The referees are currently reviewing whether Seneca Willoughby got called a timeout on a steal or if it's going to be a tie-up that gives the ball back to Pine Bluff.
I think we have really used up our threes for now. You know, either for the last 6 or 5 minutes.
It's UAPB ball. They are going to call a tie-up. And even if you're the Wildcats, that's still okay.
Yeah.
Because that means you get the possession arrow.
Yep.
We saw a little bit, or heard rather, a little bit of the Moore Gym come alive. This is one of the loudest buildings in college basketball. It only seats a couple hundred.
Yeah, but the energy is there. You will hear them.
Flat walls, a flat roof. This place is like a reverb box. And at the center of that cauldron of noise is the Wildcat defense right now.
That baseline, they're gonna drive.
Poked away. Seneca with the steal. He's been all over it defensively tonight, Seneca Willoughby. Thomas in the corner. Seneca floats it up. Ruzon underneath. Oh, he can't get it to go. That's an easy one.
We have to finish them. We are too close to be making those small mistakes. And Ruzon knows that.
Ruzon misses a gimme, and the Lions have a chance to go back in front. It's been a couple possessions since Dr. Bradley's done that, but he misses the shot. He gets his own miss. He misses the second shot. And the Wildcats survive again.
And them spin moves that Dr. Bradley be doing down there on that post, it's second nature for him. Driving, using that paint. He knows how to use his body.
He's so athletic, Dr. Bradley. Martin, midi.
Nice.
The bank is open for Caballero. 3-point lead for the Cats, equaling their largest lead in the second half. Christian Moore, he's been quiet since he picked up his 3rd foul. Let's see what he does. He goes to work.
Nice pass, ball movement.
10 to shoot. Moore against Ward, falls
right
down.
into Zeus's hands.
Here comes Zeus all the way.
No love.
Timeout on the floor.
Crazy.
It's an 11-2 run for the Maroon and Gold as they push their lead back to 5.
The crowd is loving Zeus Martin right now.
Martin on the bench with 3 fouls for a while, comes back, makes an immediate impact.
Yep.
Defense to offense.
I could have sworn he was going for the dunk. I could have sworn he was going for that dunk.
I don't think he's that kind of player, though. He's a, fundamental, get the layup.
Very much so.
And he thought he got fouled, too. He got up looking at the referee like, where's my hand one?
They haven't been calling it for him since throughout this place. Every time they play, they really don't. It's not always in his favor.
Support the Wildcats like never before. Bethune-Cookman Athletics has partnered with Influxer to bring you officially licensed, co-branded NIL merchandise featuring your favorite players' names and numbers. Proceeds from each purchase directly support Wildcats student athletes. Show your support for your favorite Wildcats today at bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. That's bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. If you like that last move from Jesus Carlero Martin, you could get a Jesus Carlero Martin jersey.
I got a couple of team jerseys that I might start hanging right in front of us so they can see us.
The Wildcats, after it felt like sleepwalking for about 15 minutes in this second half, have finally come alive. Let's take you around the SWAC. The only game going on right now, it's all Florida A&M up at Tallahassee. They lead Mississippi Valley State 61-40. 2 games already final tonight. Alcorn State goes into Prairie View and wins 78-70, and Texas Southern uses the second half comeback to beat Jackson State 81-73. The Wildcats go to Jackson and Alcorn next week, although there is some concern about travel and the weather. There's supposed to be a big snowstorm up in northern Mississippi this week, so we hope everybody up there is staying safe.
Please.
Wildcats by 5, their largest lead of the second half. And again, it's come off the defense, Sabrina.
Yeah.
3 steals in the last 4 possessions for the Wildcats.
Let's make it 4.
They've got 8 steals on the night. Here we go. Christian Moore had 8 points in the first half. He's been 0 for so far tonight in the second. Reinhardt's only hit that 1-3 early in the game, the Orlando native. He's got family in the building. I saw them cheering him on earlier.
Bit of a mixed match with Bradley and
Moore
Seneca.
fakes, throws it away.
Another steal. Them turnovers we were talking about.
Thomas hesitates, drives, fading away. Put back and one for Daniel Ruzon.
He was looking for that and one last play that he had, and he found his 5 back.
Rebounds, 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 Sabrina.
Yep.
I know you harp on that, especially with the women's team.
Yes.
The Wildcats out-rebounding Arkansas Pine Bluff 11-4
And that's
on
what
the offensive glass.
That's where we go ahead and talk about, again, those second chance points that really does help us elongate that lead that we want.
Jesus Carlero Martinez 1 point away from a double-double. He's got 9 points, 12 boards.
I think he's waiting for that one.
Ruzon converts the and one. Ruzon's had a great night, 15 and 6.
Wow.
With 2 steals and 3 blocks.
Goes back to what Coach Mosley said earlier when I was talking to him in pregame.
Vuga back in the game. He gets his own miss. He boxes out, and it rolls in. That ends a 7-0 run for the Wildcats. 4 minutes to go. Seneca looked like he was going to pull up. He goes to Ruzon, though. Extra pass, Ward. Reggie spinning on the baseline. He gets trapped. Reggie misses on the layup. He's short and somehow staying in bounds as Dumont to give the ball back to the Lions. Empty possession for Bethune-Cookman. Dr. Bradley guarded by Seneca right now. He pushes off of Seneca. He gets the ball. He attacks. He kicks for Reinhardt. That's a deep 3. And a rebound for Martin. One of the best 3-point shooting teams in the conference has been held to just 1 of 13 tonight.
And I'm blaming all of that on our amazing defense today.
That one was from NBA range for Reinhardt. Extra pass, Ruzon takes a dribble, goes up strong, hits the underside of the rim. And it's Wildcat ball, last touch by Proctor as we, excuse me, we go to our final media timeout.
All right.
Sorry about that. Had to clear my throat. Bethune-Cookman University Athletics is proud to announce the Hail Maroon and Gold Collective, a groundbreaking partnership with Student Athlete NIL, a leading name, image, and likeness management platform. Through Hail Maroon and Gold Collective, the most passionate Wildcat fans and businesses can engage with Bethune-Cookman University athletics and its student athletes like never before, and ensure our winning ways continue at Bethune-Cookman University for years to come. Learn more today at bcuathletics.com/NIL. That's bcuathletics.com/NIL. Well, Moore Gym doesn't disappoint, does it?
Not at all. And I can always count on them to bring up the Wildcats morale if it's ever so low. You know, just hearing that your team, your school that you attend is cheering for you to come on, just always boosts the confidence and then to go for that win.
And maybe you can attribute some of the Wildcats' slow start on offense tonight to there was not much crowd here. There was the student org night going on.
Yes, it's student organization fair that was going on. You know, which is always important to make sure these students are, you know, seeing what orgs are opening out there for them. But, you know, the basketball team does rely on that crowd, but I don't want them to always rely on us not being here for them to have a slow start.
Yeah, and winning on the road is going to be so important.
Yep.
Christian Moore picked up his 4th foul. That's very crucial for Arkansas Pine Bluff. He was the foul on the and one for Daniel Ruzon last time down the floor.
We're probably going to sit him for the 3 minutes unless they have him out there. If he's still out there, I would literally be driving into him or just, you know, targeting him to foul him out and go straight to that line because he was a key player in Pine Bluff.
Dr. Bradley has been on the floor for 35 minutes.
Oh.
He's only been on the bench for 2 minutes tonight. So is Trey Thomas, also 35 minutes. Warriors out there.
Yeah. I'd need my asthma pump by the 5 minutes.
And that's conditioning. That's all the work you do in the summer and in the preseason.
It shows. It absolutely shows how bad they want it.
Wildcats up 6 with the ball. Here we go. A crucial 3 minutes at Moore Gym. Trey Thomas, a deep one. Kaboom!
Straight through the drain. It's him.
Trey for Trey. Now they got to play defense. Christian Moore almost gets Martine off his feet. Watch where number 20 gets the ball. Here's Dr. Bradley.
He's creating that space. We want to make sure that he is not creating that space to get down low.
Moore off the screen. Kick out. Vuga, the big man for 3. No good. Trey Thomas getting up there fighting for that rebound, but it comes down to the Lions. Extra possession for Arkansas Pine Bluff, crucial at this juncture.
He loves that spin move.
And the Wildcats were ready for it. Another strip by Seneca Willoughby.
Yeah.
A chance for the Wildcats to go to double-digit lead for only the 2nd time tonight.
2 minutes left in the game.
Willoughby back to Thomas. He steps inside. He throws it up. Oh, my!
It's him. It's Trey.
After a 22-point night on Saturday, he's got 21 tonight. Bradley drives into a wall. Kick out Moore. Straight on 3. No good. Right to Vuga. Vuga battles in. He scores. And timeout Arkansas Pine Bluff as they trail by 9. Can we go back to that shot from Trey Thomas?
That was crazy.
He was falling out of bounds, pushed it up over the backboard and got it in.
It takes a level of balance to being able to shoot that mid-ranger and then float out of bounds on the sideline.
As well as playing 36 minutes tonight.
Absolutely, and not being tired. Well, who knows? He might be tired, but it sure is not showing on that court. But going back to what we said about before, the only way that we knew that they were going to be able to win these games was being able to draw these fouls, use those mid-range shots, and those second chance points. And it shows that they're learning from their mistakes, and it's working for them with that 9-point lead we do have.
The Wildcats with a 9-point lead and 1 minute and 49 seconds away from their first ever victory over Arkansas Pine Bluff in men's basketball in school history.
1-3 then.
They'd be 1-3. And they'd be 3-1 in the conference. Equaling their best conference start since 2017. Remember, that year they went 12-4 and MEAC played were one of the best teams in the conference.
Yes, I think I remember that year. 2018,
2017, 2018, yeah. That was, of course, under Coach Ryan Ritter,
yeah,
who was now at Mercer. Lots of basketball roots with the Ritter family here in Daytona Beach, with his dad being the longtime coach at Embry-Riddle.
Oh, wow.
And his brothers both coaching with him at Mercer. I remember watching all three of them play for their dad at Embry-Riddle growing up here in Daytona Beach.
Family ties on the rail.
And he got his start right here at Bethune-Cookman. Wildcats facing a full court press here. 1:49 to go, up by 9.
No chance for them to throw those half-court shots.
Wildcats have timeouts if they need them, but Trey's wide open. Ruzon under the basket. He kicks it out to Seneca, and the Wildcats need to drain some clock here.
Smart passes.
Martin. Ruzon wide open. He jams it down.
Jams it down.
Restores the double-digit advantage with 1:20 to go. Moore drives and kicks.
Ruzon with almost 20 points.
Sawyer lost the ball. It'll stay with Pine Bluff out of bounds. What a close to this one for Bethune-Cookman.
And I am absolutely happy that they found that fire and they were able to come out on top of this. Because we were worried about that. Who was going to be that halftime player? They were both playing cold. Both teams were playing cold in the beginning of the first half.
The last time Bethune-Cookman trailed in this game, it was 48-45 Pine Bluff. Since then, the Wildcats are on a 21-6 run. That's how you close a basketball game. But it's not done yet. 3 on the way short. Thomas the board, 1 minute to go.
They're pressing, keeping them at half.
And they will foul.
Not
Wildcats
the best idea.
nowhere near the bonus, I think. 1 short of the 1-and-1. Nope, they are in the 1-and-1 now, I believe. Yep, they are. As Trey Thomas will head back to the free throw line. Trey Thomas, a career high 22 last night. Well, it's not his career high anymore. He's got 23 so far tonight. 8 of 20 from the floor, 3 of 11 from downtown, and that's the 5th foul on Christian Moore. He is done.
Exactly what we were talking about earlier before.
A frustrating night for Christian Moore. He ends just 4 of 11. He had all 8 of his points in the first half. 1-and-1 coming up for Trey Thomas.
Let's make these count.
And Daniel Ruzon's been massive tonight. 18.6 boards.
Player of the game.
I agree. They didn't go to him enough.
No.
He could easily have had 20 to 25 points.
Yes, I absolutely agree. If they played that bottom to the way they were supposed to, he probably would have had a double-double earlier into the game.
2 more for Trey as he continues to push that career high up. He's got 25. Dr. Bradley, another impressive night for him. He's got 21, but he's turned the ball over a couple times in this second half.
I think when he started getting pressure more than him, they were, denying him that shot to get inside of that paint.
The putback is good. Nobody boxed out Quentin Bolton. Timeout Arkansas Pine Bluff as the lead is back down to 11. The Wildcats look for all the world like they're going to close this one out. They'll win 4 of their last 5. And will be 4-1 to start conference play. Again, since the last time Arkansas Pine Bluff had the lead, it was 48-45 Pine Bluff. Since then, 23-8 Bethune-Cookman run. In that time, Trey Thomas has had 7, Daniel Ruzon 6, Seneca Willoughby 6, and Jesus Carolero Martin 4. I'd like to see Martin get 1 more point so he can have his double-double. Currently on 9 points and a game-high 13 rebounds. I called him the Swiss Army knife. He has done a little bit of everything tonight. 13 points, 5 assists, 3 blocks for Jesus Carolero Martin. Full court press coming. Martin's got the ball. Back to Seneca. 5 to get it across. Thomas, tough catch. He motors his way into the front court and lost it. Here comes Chop Paljor, the 3-point sniper for Pine Bluff. 35 seconds left. Here's a deep 3. It's good. How about the hometown hero, Zach Reinhart from Orlando? As then Trey Thomas bursts through a double team and will be fouled. It'll be another 1-and-1 for Trey Thomas. Chop Paljor gets the foul. Paljor we haven't seen a lot tonight. Only 6 minutes played, 2 points. But he's out of Omaha, Nebraska, but played his prep basketball in Atlanta at the Overtime Elite Academy. Paljor, the team leader for Arkansas Pine Bluff in three-point percentage at 43.9. He had 6 threes in a game against Missouri. He owns the Overtime Elite record for three-pointers in a game with 8. But again, he hasn't seen the floor much tonight, with three-pointers not being the way that either of these teams have really done their job. Timeout, Bethune-Cookman. Arkansas Pine Bluff just 2 of 18 from the three-point line. The Wildcats a little bit better, 6 of 27. They've been better in the second half, 4 of 11. In the first half, they were just 2 of 16 on some really poor shots. The Wildcats shot 25% in the first half and then 50 in the second half. Arkansas Pine Bluff shot 29% in the first and 50 in the second. But the key right now is the turnovers. Arkansas Pine Bluff has turned the ball over 14 times, 19 Bethune-Cookman points off of those 14 turnovers. And the turnovers have come at crucial times. It's been strips. The Wildcats have 10 steals tonight, above their season average of 7.4. And Willoughby's done well. He's got 3 steals. Ruzon has 3 steals. Thomas has 2. And they've locked in again defensively and will hold a team well under their season average. They did it to Mississippi Valley on Saturday night, holding them to 58. And tonight, Arkansas Pine Bluff's got 59 as they average 75 per game. So again, Reggie Theus's teams love doing it with defense, and you saw it in the first half where the Wildcats limited them to just 29% from the floor, but couldn't do anything themselves offensively. In the second half, the game opened up a little bit, and the Wildcats have come out on the end of it with a tremendous run there down towards the end of the game. That last 3 by Pine Bluff to bring it to 10-point game was made by the Orlando native Zach Reinhart, a former state champion at Central Florida Christian. Wildcats will pick up full court on Bradley. 28 seconds left. The Doctor kicks it out. Chop drives. He's fouled as sprinting backwards was Jesus Carolero Martin. That's his 4th, so he'll probably be done. And unless he gets the ball and gets fouled, he's not going to get to that double-double here in the dying moments. As Chop Paljor goes to the line, already talked about his background. Thank you all for joining us here tonight on the Cat Eye Network. It's so great to be back at Mort Gymnasium bringing you Bethune-Cookman basketball. The Wildcat men before Saturday hadn't played a home game since the 16th of November. The women's team had 1 home game back around Thanksgiving time. But Moore Gym, and specifically the Moore Maniacs, this student section, has loved getting to see their Wildcats play again. They've spurred them to a terrific second half comeback and win here with 16.9 to go. Trey's gonna go back to the line. He's got a career high 27. He set his career high in 3 of the last 4 games. He had 21 the last non-conference game against Mississippi State, then 22 against Valley 2 nights ago, now 27. And he started slow tonight, Trey Thomas, taking some contested threes, some bad shots from the corner, but he turned it on in the second half. And has played 38 of the 40 minutes of this basketball game. The Wildcats 71-60, 15 seconds left. Just don't foul. They're gonna give up the layup here to Dante Sawyer. It's gonna be inconsequential. The Wildcats maybe want to score one more time to win this one by double digits. Thomas races ahead. He's chopped by a frustrated Dr. Bradley, who was once again terrific for Arkansas Pine Bluff. 21 points, 9 of 12 from the free throw line. Outside of Dr. Bradley, only Quentin Bolton Jr. and Chop Paljor have gone to the line at all for Arkansas Pine Bluff, and those two only went once each. And if Trey Thomas hits one more free throw, he's gonna get the 30-piece for the first time in his career. Oh yeah, he does. And he's perfect from the free throw line, 10 of 10. Bradley all the way, fouled with 2.4 on the clock, and this game refuses to end, and I have to keep talking. Stay with us at the end of the game. We'll have Coach Reggie Theus on with Sabrina on the post-game show to talk about the win, as Dr. Bradley, again, is gonna have his 4th 20-point game in 5 attempts, as he's got 22, and one more would make it 23. He's only played since SWAC play after joining the team in December. After sitting out of college basketball last year, the former New Mexico State Aggie. He's got them both. He's got 23 on the night. He scored 30 against Bama A&M, 35 against Bama State, 12 against Prairie View, and 24 against FAMU. Reggie Ward runs it out, the final horn sounds, and this one belongs to the maroon and gold. The Wildcat men's and women's basketball teams sweep the weekend. They go 4-0 against Arkansas Pine Bluff and Mississippi Valley State. A much-needed piece of home cooking for the Wildcats after months on the road, at least it feels like it. As both of the teams go on the road next week, as they'll play Alcorn and Jackson State, some tough matchups on both sides. The men look good. If results elsewhere go the Wildcats' way, they will be tied for second in the SWAC, with their only loss being to first place Southern through the first 5 games of the season. We are just waiting for Coach Theus to get together with Sabrina down on the floor, then we will go there for you. Once again, the Wildcats take this one 73-62. After they closed this game on a massive run to break UAPB hearts late on in this one. Coach Theus is just about ready. I think we're just waiting for a stat sheet so he can give us all the numbers. And we'll give you all the numbers when Sabrina finishes her interview. We're just about ready. Let's send it down to the floor. Here's Sabrina Petit home with Coach Reggie Theus.
Great game today, Coach Theus. With being 4-1 in the SWAC and also being our first time that we won against Arkansas Pine Bluff, how do you feel right now?
Well, you know, it's a team effort. The defense held us up because we were shooting so poorly early. We got to get our guys to understand the game's not won from the three-point line. Yep. The game's won from inside. Yep. And this generation don't understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming back from the drought on the first half, what strategy did you use to draw less fouls?
Well, you know, Doc is a good player. He has a knack of getting fouled. I think we changed the defense up on him, and it probably hurt him a little bit. Absolutely. So it gave us what we needed.
What are you expecting from your team now that you're moving forward into the SWAC?
We just got to play harder. We got to play smarter.
Absolutely. Harder and smarter.
If we play harder and smarter and keep rebounding the ball, we'll be fine.
All right. Amazing win again, Coach Theus. Thank you so much. All right. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Sabrina. A bit of a frustrated Coach Theus tonight, and you can definitely tell why. I mean, you shoot 25% from the floor in the first half, and you hold a team that is really good offensively to just 24 points in the first half. You think you may be well and clear, but it just didn't happen for you. Let's run you through the individual numbers. First, for Arkansas Pine Bluff, Dr. Bradley, spectacular again. 23 points, 6 of 13 from the floor, 11 of 14 from the free throw line. He also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. He was everywhere tonight. Vuga had a pretty good night off the bench for UAPB. He was their only other double-digit scorer. 12 points on 6 of 10 shooting. 0 for 1 from 3, 3 rebounds for Vuga. Moore, 8 points, all in the first half. He was very frustrated offensively in the second half. He also fouled out. Reinhardt had 6 on 2 threes, the Orlando native coming home, playing in front of some of his family and friends tonight. Sawyer had 6, Bolton had 4, Paljor had 3, Dumont had 2. Asoro, Brown, and Jones played but didn't score for the Lions. For the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, Trey Thomas, for the second time in 3 days, has a career high. He extends it, his first ever 30-piece, 31 points, 8 of 20 shooting, 12 for 12 from the free throw line. Perfecto for Trey from the line. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Daniel Ruzon was also very good, 18 points and 6 rebounds on 6 of 12 shooting, 6 of 8 from the free throw line for Ruzon. I think he gets that double-double if they go to him more often in the first half.
Absolutely.
Carolero Martin, 1 point shy of a double-double, 9 points, 13 rebounds to lead all rebounders, 3 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Seneca Willoughby, only 6 points, but he had those 2 massive threes back-to-back to kickstart the Wildcat comeback in the second half. David Onanina, quieter tonight. Only played 3 minutes, only had 4 points. Khalil Kamara just had the 1 3-pointer in 9 minutes played. Reggie Ward, way under his usual offensively tonight, was 1 of 8 from the floor, but he did get 9 rebounds to continue his season high of over 8 rebounds a game. He'll stay at the top of the SWAC in rebounding, as once again the Wildcats win at 73-64. Sabrina, I was saying that Coach Theus sounded frustrated with how his team played tonight, even though they got the win.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes with, being in a phenomenal coach, is knowing that there's still mistakes that we need to go ahead and fix. And it goes back to saying what we're saying, like, we need to be able to use our post-player mode. Post players a lot more, It would take us, give us that advantage that we're looking for in the beginning of the first half of the game, It's not our best game with Reggie, more so, but he was definitely there with the rebounds. Daniel Ruzon and Trey definitely stepped it up, but it all goes to the fact that where we lack, other players on our team are able to pick up that slack. This was all around a team effort, and we see that today with Daniel Ruzon and Trey Thomas being able to pick that up. Jesus being able to be our defensive player along with Gianni, Reggie with the rebounds. It's all a team effort, and if we continue to make fixing our mistakes down into the SWAC, I think we're going to have an amazing season. And
it says a lot about a team that they're able to win a tough game even on not a great night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here are your team stats. Bethune-Cookman out-rebounded Arkansas Pine Bluff 41-36, 12-8 on the offensive glass. Here's my key stat of the game. 15-4 in favor of the Wildcats in second chance points. Yep. Wildcats had 16 assists, Pine Bluff 13. Wildcats forced 14 Arkansas Pine Bluff turnovers and scored 19 points off those 14 turnovers. The Wildcats turned the ball over 12 times, and Arkansas Pine Bluff had 17 points off of those turnovers. The Wildcats had 8 blocks tonight, including Seneca Willoughby having 2 on 3-point shots. Arkansas Pine Bluff just had 4 blocks. Arkansas Pine Bluff was running the floor. They had 13 fast break points to the Wildcats 8. The Wildcats stole the ball 10 times. Pine Bluff just 8. Points in the paint, 42 for Pine Bluff, 28 for Bethune-Cookman. You talk about Coach being frustrated with their over-reliance on the 3-point shot. That stat shows it right there.
Yeah, we really got to we really have to work on those mistakes, because it's not going to be any easier towards the next game, especially on the road. And those mistakes are, we don't want them to cost us the game,
And you're going to play a lot of teams with better defenses that punish you for making those slow starts.
Absolutely. And I want us to start getting used to driving in a lot more and staying out of that left pocket. We're starting to be a little bit more predictable, seeing that Trey is on either left side of that court, and the teams are starting to pick that up. If you look over through the film, you'll always see him in that pocket. Use the post a little bit more. Let's go back to those mid-rangers,
The Wildcats run out 73-64 winners tonight. They sweep the weekend. The men go 2-0, the women go 2-0. It's a 4-0 weekend for B-CU basketball. Again, tune in to Hail Wildcats Radio on Thursday afternoon before the women's game. We'll hear Bryce, Brian, and I talk all about this one. and tennis and track and field and all of the
Yeah.
things BCU sports. Sabrina, a good first home weekend.
Great first weekend.
That'll do it for us here from Moore Gymnasium. For Sabrina Petit home at the desk with me, producer Lee, our entire student broadcast crew here at the Cat Eye Network bring you all these home basketball games. My name is Michael Torello. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks when the Wildcats are back here at Moore Gym. We'll see you then.